Hi, my name is Alonso Macias. I'm going to be talking about worldwide problems, talking about the effects, talking about how they're made, how you could solution them. I researched about around 2 hours about these problems, the negatives about it. There's obviously no positive in these worldwide problems, but the one I'm going to be talking about will be pollution. There's three main types of pollution: land, water, and air. These three pollutions are really just chemicals which get into air, they get into water, and they'll get into land, and they start getting poisoned, just such as land. Whenever pollutants, that's what they're called. They're small particles. They'll get into the soil and dirt, which will slowly start killing animals, start killing plants, because whatever they grow, whoever consumes that, whoever touches that, it gets harmed, and it will mess with your internal system. It can make you rash. You can have really negative things in your body, make you go, make animals die, and then you eat animals. So eventually if this keeps on going, all those animals that eat those plants, all those plants that are growing, will eventually stop growing. What are we gonna eat? We can't have plants and we can't have animals. So we need to stop these pollutants from going there. Some ways are by not throwing by not throwing any trash into lands, by not contaminating them. You need to be really careful with what you're doing on your daily basis, to use less fertilizer, buy products which scientists have made and people have helped keep on making to help this land stay clear and safe. Because anywhere and any place could be harmed by this pollution effects. Another major type of pollution is water pollution. The water pollution, how it really works is there's not a lot of chemicals going into it. It's mainly just trash. Like the pollution, like all those people who use balloons, all those people who use plastic. Lego bricks are a main problem since they take around 10 years to disappear eventually. So all this gets into water. Animals, where are they gonna get their food? In the water, since they live there. So once they go there, they'll eat Legos and they'll choke on themselves. They get harmed. There's actually been balloons also, which from birthday parties, these silly balloons that people use, which are made out of plastic, they won't break apart. So it would eventually anything that what makes them fly will disappear, and then they'll slowly go into the water. They'll get trapped somewhere, and then there's been so many cases of seabirds. 25% of the deaths are caused by balloons, just balloons in themselves, which go into the ocean, and they'll eat them by accident, thinking it's food, depending on the color it is. And once they eat them, they won't be able to eat because it'll get stuck in their internal system, and for some reason they'll starve to death. And we don't want that. That's really negative. It affects the whole ecosystem because we all know how food chains work. Food chains are animals feed other animals, and then if those animals can't eat the seabirds, then how are they gonna feed off? They're gonna have to feed off another species, but especially that species is not gonna be enough, and it causes the whole ecosystem to fall down. So to reduce this, we have to stop throwing any type of chemicals, any pills, any plastic, any bottles, any bottle caps, anything, especially sinks and toilets, and people they don't really know where that water goes. That all that water goes into a certain place, into a certain lake, certain river, any water, body waters, it gets into there, and then it starts flowing slowly into the ocean. Once it does that, it pollutes the whole ocean, the whole rivers, the lakes, anything gets polluted, and then all the animals there, all the people there, if they use that water, that's contaminated. Like I said, all these pollutants, they get into the water, and they'll eventually poison you. They'll poison the fishes there. They'll make the lakes go green. They'll make the lakes have no flow in their water just because there's so much trash and junk under there. So we need to reduce this by stop just throwing things into. We need to stop doing things that we do on our daily basis, such as throwing food into the sink, which eventually, like I said, goes into other places. And then we have air pollution. Air pollution is not any myth. I'm not talking about any assumption. This is real. This has happened before. Back in Donara, 1948, I think it was, there was a case where they were mining zinc and other metals, and it eventually created air pollution, which all the factory was building slowly, and then people after years and years they wouldn't notice what was happening. So what happened was that there was a smog, which was everything. Something was created around that place that it made the air not be able to go out because of all the pollutants it had in it, and it caused all that bad air to stay in there, and it messed up with their respiratory systems, which eventually damaged them and had over 40 deaths. And that is really major if you think about it. That was just a small village. Imagine the whole world having that. It would affect us really negatively. So why have this? Why not do it now? Why not create a good ecological ways of living? Why not stop using some cars so daily? Why not use transportation that everybody can use at once instead of a single car? Why not stop throwing trash? Why not start recycling? Why not start reusing? Because we don't have that problem right now as much as it is, but later on our grandchildren, our kids, they're gonna have that, and why let them fight for it when we could start fighting right now? So thank you guys. This was my pollution thing. My pollution.